Welcome everybody to Tallman Tech. It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday. Today we are playing Let's See Where FSD Takes Us. I have no waypoint set up. You'll notice that my navigation is not turned on. I'm just going to turn on FSD and see where it takes us. I thought of this yesterday actually when I noticed that the green line on the screen here, which is the path that FSD thinks it should be taking, I noticed that it was, uh, you know, directing the car even when I didn't have a waypoint set up. So I thought today, well, let's just turn it on for a couple minutes and see where exactly it takes us. And who knows, maybe it'll drive us all the way back to California. I doubt that, but I still thought it'd be interesting to see, what route it decides to take. There is a person coming up here on the side. I am going to pull the car over because it's, better to be safe than sorry, so I just turned it back on. Again, you could see that it was going to go around, but that kind of hit that point with me where I would have moved over a little bit sooner. You could see just in the look in the person's eye that they were wondering what was going on too. So I went ahead and disengaged and moved the car over. And now we're going again. I think this would be really interesting to talk to, one of the developers from the FSD team, because I'd love to know, what is making it decide to go right there. Why didn't it want to take a left there, for example? Because again, I have no waypoint set. The car's just driving. It's just on FSD. That's it, with no waypoint. So it is. So far, it's made 2 right turns. Now, obviously, it had to make a turn at the end of that street and at the end of the other street because those were dead ends. But I wonder if, when it's in without a waypoint, is it always just going to make right turns, or will it make left turns as well too? While we're driving here, this actually brings up one of the nice features of FSD is that you can you're no longer stuck with setting the speed limit to 5 miles over on local roads. Now, yes, you should be normally. All right, let's see how it reacts here. And again, I'm going to take over. Not quick enough. Oh, so back to what I was saying. So you can actually set a speed limit now that's any amount over a local speed limit on a local road. Whereas before with autopilot, you could only set the speed limit to be a maximum of 5 over the current speed limit. Now, granted, most of the time you want to be driving the speed limit or only slightly over. But keep in mind, there are some roads that are considered local roads that actually, may have, more than one lane in them, where the average speed of the traffic is actually significantly more than 5 miles over. So the speed limit might be 30, but it's a multi-lane local road, and just the general speed of traffic is, let's say, people are going, 7 to 10 miles over the speed limit. And so you want to be able to continue to go with the flow of traffic. And if you were trying to use autopilot prior to FSD in a situation like that, it would have just, you were stuck. You could only go 5 over. So I do like the fact that you can now set the speed to go as much over the speed limit as you'd like. All right, so we're approaching another stop sign here, so let's take a guess. Is it going to go left? Is it going to go right? Or is it going to go straight and drive off the side of the mountain? I guarantee it's not going to go straight, but let's see what it does. It's going right. Maybe it just ultimately drives in a big circle. Come to think of it, it probably would have been better to do this video in a, like in a densely populated area where there was, lots of opportunities for it to turn. Because we don't have another turn now for quite a while. Interestingly enough, this will eventually take me back to the road that my neighborhood is off of. So maybe it will just take us in a big circle. I live in central New York, which is about 30 miles east of Syracuse and about 40 miles west, 40 to 50 miles west of Albany. So we're a good 4.5 hours from New York City. This time of year usually looks really nice because all the leaves are changing. The only downside to that is right after the leaves change, you know what that means? It's time for winter. Okay, so here we are on an unmarked road. It's literally driving down the middle of the road. So I'm going to take over. Safe to say that'll be one of the first things I test when we get 10.3 is to see if it continues to drive down the middle of the road here, really on any unmarked road. here. This will be interesting. Again, we still have no waypoint set. Oh my gosh, look, it's taking a left-hand turn. So it doesn't just make rights. I'm sure nobody on this video would actually want to sit here and watch me drive for, 3 hours until I completely run out of charge, but I really do wonder where exactly, where it would take us. This is a real off the beaten path road here. It's getting really close on the left now. I don't know what that was about. It's still doing a very good job of sensing, where the edge of the road is, even with all the leaves on this side of the road here on the left. Okay, now it says the road narrows. Now it's trying to go real close to the right. This would be pretty much the definition of an edge case. This is not a normal road most people would be taking. The one interesting thing too is that the wheel's not jerking though, so it seems well, that was too close to the left. But the wheel isn't jerking, so it's not like it's unsure about where it thinks it's driving as far as in the road itself. Although it has gotten too close on the left a couple times and too close on the right just once so far. The reason why this is important, especially where I live, is, in another month or so, we're going to start to have snow covering most of our roads. So once there's snow covering the road, it's not going to be able to see, it'll be able to tell where the edge of the road is, right? But it's not going to be able to see where the center of the road is. So it'll be really interesting to see what it does when that happens, when it has to try to figure out where the center line is. Now, just a moment ago, you'll notice that it did for a split second start to actually draw the center lane, but then it went away. Now again, admittedly, this is a narrow road, and even before there was a sign saying it was a narrow road, it was a narrow road. So it might actually not have a problem if this was like a normal traditional width road. It might automatically determine where the center is. Okay, so we're coming up on a turn pretty soon here, so we'll see where it's going to take us. That's a nice view. All right, we're coming down a road here, a little bit windy. I have to say, overall, I'm really impressed with how smooth it's navigating this road. You know, with those couple exceptions of it getting to the edges too close, you know, it seems very confident on this road. And really, even the fact that it's driving down the center isn't such a problem. My only recommendation would be that it actually move over sooner, you know, when it spots a car. So right now, you know, if a car was coming, it will move over to the right like it should, but it does it a little too late. Not from a safety standpoint, but from a you know, comfort of the other driver. So the other driver coming towards us is going to be wondering, you know, why is this guy sitting in the middle of the road? Why hasn't he moved over yet? So that would be really my only recommendation there. All right, we're coming up to another stop sign. Where's it going to take us? Left or right? Get your votes in. Looks like it's going to go right. Oh, thought left for a second, but no, it's going right. It even peeled out a little bit there leaving. Okay, so we've had all right turns except for one left turn so far. Now we're coming up on an area with a lot of small side streets, so we'll see what it decides when we get this far. Another benefit of FSD that I see so far is it doesn't seem to nag you as much about having your hand on the wheel. I could be wrong about that, but it does seem to not be. Either that or it's a little less, it's a little more sensitive to the your hand being on the wheel. Because I rarely find that it's, you know, reminding me. It's not that I drive with my hand off the wheel. It's just that, you know, it's really it doesn't care if your hand's on the wheel. It needs a sense that there's some torque on the wheel from your hand for it to think that you're holding it. It would be great if we got to a point where the only thing it cared about was, you know, was I actually paying attention on the road. Which, you know, the car is looking at now. You know, with FSD Beta, if I were to pick my cell phone up right now, the car would yell at me because it knows using the in-cabin camera. So now we're going straight. So there's no, it's not going to it didn't just make a right turn or a left turn. So maybe it's only when it gets to, you know, an intersection where it has to make a right or a left. Although that theory isn't exactly true because it did make a left turn at that one point in the road. But I guess maybe you can still consider that because that was like a Y, so we really had to make a choice one way or the other there. Yeah, now that I'm paying better attention, I think the nag time limit is still the same on the for having your hand on the wheel. Kind of slowed down pretty quickly there. I don't know if it picked up that stop sign for a moment on the right side, but phantom braking, maybe it's just because it's October and it's getting close to Halloween, but phantom braking is definitely a theme with FSD Beta 10.2. I know it's because of the pure vision, everyone, but let's have a little bit of excitement with this. So today was really just, I shouldn't say today, but at least this video was really just a fun, kind of experiment to see what it would do if you, okay. It just pulled real hard and turned to the right there. Didn't use a blinker either. Driving past Remington Arms. It's a big weapon manufacturer in Ilion, New York. Oh, so back to what I was saying. I got kind of cut off when the car changed lanes quickly. So after today, or after this video, going forward, I have this whole scoring system I came up with that I think is going to really allow us to stay on top of the progress of FSD as the updates come out. So I'm going to start grading each of the turns that the car makes, and the grading will be based upon um, how. I swear, every time I start talking to you, the car does something odd. I should probably just stop talking. And I'll probably see that in the comments. Yes, shut your mouth. Just let the car do its thing. Anyways, I have a scoring system I came up with to really grade each of the turns on how close was a given turn to the way that a human driver would do it. A good human driver, not not a drunk human driver or a human driver who had a bag over their head. And it's going to be based on the smoothness of the turn, the how far did it pull out when it was trying to make a turn on the unprotected left, how long did it wait to take the turn, and again, overall, how smooth was the turn that it actually completed. And then at the end of every video, I'll give an overall score of how it did. I also upgraded one of my cameras. So the camera that's on the top of the car is a GoPro 9, and I now have the Max lens adapter on, which gives it a better field of view. So we'll see how that looks, once I actually release the video. And then I'm contemplating upgrading the in-cabin camera. Right now, I believe it's a GoPro 8. No, it's a GoPro 6. I think I'm going to just upgrade that to the same thing, so a GoPro 9. And then I want to get a better mic on it because I did have some comments from people that they were getting a lot of road noise, and I'm going to filter that out in post-production. Very interesting. Okay, so again, remember, we are not, we have no waypoint, and now all of a sudden it's deciding to make a left turn. So that would now be 2 left turns, and the rest were all right turns. Now, it might consider this road we're turning on to be a highway, so our little test might be over, because if it switches back into regular autopilot and out of FSD, the car's not gonna, it's just gonna go straight. One other idea I had too with regards to the cameras was I know I can pull up the camera here on the screen in the car to see the two cameras that point towards the road, but I don't know that those give us really a full picture of the whole side of the car. Um, I've been contemplating getting two other GoPros and mounting them on each side of the car, so we could get a really good view of how close it's getting to curbs, how close it's getting to the edge of the road. We'll see, what I decide. I also don't want to have this take, 10 minutes to set the car up every time I want to go take it out for a drive. But if it leads to better content, then I'm all for it. If it actually provides something that's going to be helpful. So far it has not switched back over to regular autopilot. It may do that a little bit further up here, so we'll keep an eye on that. It's nice to see the weather's cooperated with us so far. I think it's supposed to rain later today. I am going to do a full test, when the weather's really, raining hard. Unfortunately, last night we had like a torrential downpour, but I was in the middle of cleaning up old videos and deleting stuff off my cameras, so I wasn't able to get out. So I'll keep an eye on the forecast. Well, I don't know, I didn't like that. But anyways, I'll keep an eye on the forecast. Next time I see it's supposed to rain really bad, I'll plan on getting out in the car. For a split second, it thought it wanted to turn right there, and then it changed its mind. Again, if you're just tuning in, on today's drive, we did not set a waypoint. I just turned on autopilot and let it rip. And so far, it's made 2 left turns, and the rest have been right turns. Now we're getting a little bit of phantom braking. We just went from 55 to 50. Look on the screen here, if you look on the screen here, you'll notice that for the most part, well, now it's back, but it's actually the left side of the road. It's not considering well, now it's back, but previously it thought the edge of the road was actually just a lane marking. Oh, there you go. See how it's all yellow? Which that's not a problem. It's not going to pass over a yellow like that when it's a solid. We're about a little over 40 minutes here. I don't think everybody wants to sit and watch this forever, so I think I'm going to sign off now. Overall, it was interesting. It started by making a couple right turns, actually mostly right turns. Then it made 2 left turns in total, and that was all without setting any navigation waypoints. We drove on some normally marked roads. We drove on some roads that had absolutely no markings. We drove on some roads that weren't even paved, that just had stone down. And it actually did a really good job on all of those. Only a couple times did we have to disengage because it was getting too close to the left and then the right-hand side of the road on those unpaved roads. But again, overall, I'd say this was a interesting experiment and also a successful drive. So I hope everybody remembers to subscribe and like and follow me. I've got a lot of exciting content I'm working on that has to do, with everything revolving around FSD. And until next time, we'll see you later.